What's up, everybody? It is me, your boy Al, here over at One Man Indie, and I've got to say that these past 7 days have really closed out the challenge of JulYtem strong. Really, really strong. I can't wait to tell you and show you everything that happened because it definitely was a surprise. Enough with me yapping. Let's get down to the stuff that you guys came here for. Can't wait for your reaction. I'll see you in a little bit. So this day's prompt was the word door. This word and a couple other things that kind of had me a bit stumped this week. This was a puzzle that had me on stuck for a minute. Doors, you know, they're part of rooms and you open them and you can also close them. They're an entrance and an exit. Sometimes they're made out of wood, sometimes they're made out of metal. You know, I was just thinking about the whole concept of doors. That led me to doorknobs and it led me to locks and keys. I was like, okay, well, what can I do with a lock or a key or a door? And I kept thinking about it, and I was maybe thinking of maybe putting some kind of a special kind of lock and key, maybe some kind of a doorknob that kind of had some kind of an effect. When I thought of a doorknob, that made me think of that door from Howl's Moving Castle, the one where he turns a lever, it changes to a different color, and every time when he did it, it always moved to a different location. Thinking about that and then connecting that with keys, I was like, okay, so why don't I do this? When a person holds onto this key or has it in their possession, it always leads them back to a certain room in their home. When I considered that, it led me to create this. Now, the word that I got for this day was the word carry. I was thinking of like some kind of a satchel or some kind of sack, maybe like a bag of holding. I almost went with making my own version of that, but nah. When I kept thinking about the word carry and I kept saying it out loud, the concept of open carry came to mind. You know, open carry, referring to firearms. So thinking about firearms, what's the one thing that firearms are definitely going to need? Well, that's ammunition. So seeing as how ammunition is going to be something that's going to be needed, especially in the middle of a firefight or something like this, but especially in a setting like in Kandris, where there's arrows and crossbows and, well, the Druga stapler. So why don't I just come up with an item that helps? And with that in mind, I made this. Now, the word sharp, which is the prompt I got for this day, kind of had me kicking myself because I was like, all this time when I saw the word, I could have used earlier. And I thought, doggone. I mean, I literally had a stone that actually helps to sharpen like knives and swords and stuff. Okay, man. So now what am I gonna do? So I kept thinking about it. It's like sharp. Okay, so what else is sharp? I was really thinking about the concept of the word sharp. Most time when people are talking about people who are like sharp mentally, like what mental sharpness is, it's called acuity. That sharpness of the mind reminded me of something I will talk about later on in a future video. It would be like a character class that I want to come up with. And because of mental acuity and sharpness and the mind, I combined those concepts together, revisited an old idea that I had with this. As in the case with the word door, the word window literally had me stumped for several hours until I actually looked at the word itself. What I saw with the word window were words like lag and gap. Now, at first I saw the word gap and I was thinking, okay, well, maybe something that would make some kind of a hole appear in the floor, like a trap door or anything like, well, we already have something like that. It's called a trap door. So, well, that doesn't make the cut. And I looked at lag, and lag is something annoying to people who are like familiar with like online games, especially like say Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battleground, or PUBG, what people usually call it, or Dota. That's when things are slowed down, when things aren't as fast as you need them to be. I remembered something that I created beforehand from a story that I wrote earlier this year. I'll put a link to it up there. And when I put the two together, it turned out great. Now, this is where something strange happened. Not just once, but twice this week. I call it the double dip days because from this, I vacillated between two different items and I decided to make them both. This is the second of the double dip days, and this day's prompt was the word drop. It didn't really take a lot of time for me to get on the right track in terms of how to use this word. It wasn't even that much of a struggle with it. I was sitting down just trying to go through it in my head, and somehow the idea of a monster drop or a loot drop, it just kind of fell out of the heavens, kind of like SpongeBob, that type of thing. So when I was thinking of an actual monster drop, the first item came from a creature that I had talked about from the week before last week's creature feature. And then I thought about the drop from the creature from this past week's creature feature. All right, so cold was the word I got for this day. And at first I was thinking of words like ice pick or ice pike. I guess it would be an implement that's made out of ice that is used as a weapon. But thinking about that made me remember a story from January, the challenge I had for myself earlier this year. It reminded me of a creature from my first entry in it. I remembered that this particular creature has the ability with a bite to numb its prey. With that in mind, that led me to make this. The last prompt for this week was the word paper. Well, I mean, do I come up with some kind of a scroll? And I thought about it and it was like, okay, coming up with a scroll, that just seems relatively obvious. And I was like, no, that's not something cool. Nah, not really all that fun or interesting. Okay, well, what can you do with paper? I mean, you can fold it. When I thought about the word fold, it reminded me of a concept that I considered after I made the item for that earlier prompt. I was seeing the actual image of how the idea would work and where it would fit in my world. I made this. Man, I was so proud of what I was able to do these last 7 days. It really was so awesome and so much fun. I am personally glad that I actually did this. Again, I still don't know why I did not do this when I first talked a couple of years back, but this challenge really tested me. It really helped me to think outside the box, think laterally, and not relying on using the term literally. In many cases, I did, and it still turned out fine, and I was okay with it. It really helped to test my hypothesis of the 7 steps of creativity, and if you have not seen that video, I'll post a link to it here. I'm not gonna say I taught a lesson or anything like that, but I think that I gave a decent understanding of how my creative process works. I was willing to share that with others to see if maybe it could help them. So I hope you guys liked it. If you hadn't taken a chance to take part in this challenge at all, we still have 3 days left. There's still some time. If you had a chance to take part in this, please let me know. I would love to see what you guys have come up with. I was hoping that more people would be involved in it. I guess my channel is relatively small, so I can understand that. I was trying to make this as something that everybody could enjoy, but you know, I guess my channel has to get bigger. But with that in mind, if you did enjoy this challenge and this particular video as well, please subscribe. Your subscription does help to spread this out to others. Also, consider giving it a like and a comment. Hell, even a downvote or a dislike. Whichever one you want to do will definitely help to boost this in the algorithm so people can see it and my channel can grow. And it's definitely something that helps out. I want to use these kinds of challenges for the greater community to help to generate more creativity, especially in the indie space, because we're going to need it going forward. Unfortunately, the corporations have literally just taken all the fun out of creating anything in terms of games or entertainment in general. So we need more people who are going to engage in the process of creation to make something that's going to be awesome. And I want to be a part of that in one way or another. If you are wanting to support what I do have a Ko-fi. I have memberships there. I'm actually going to add more memberships which give discounts on everything that I have in my Ko-fi shop, and I also have commissions as well. So anything that you give would help out and goes a long way to keeping the show going and keeping it growing. So that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed taking part of JulYtem. Even if you enjoyed watching the videos, again, leave a thumb because that does go a long way. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I hope to see you for Creature Feature Friday, but not, then I'll meet you here again for another World Building Wednesday video. You guys take it easy, stay safe, stay sane. God willing, we'll meet again. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed the content, please support this channel by liking, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell for more. Thank you.